Hola, bonjour, guten tag, terima kasih, ni hao, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hello everyone, I'm Miles. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Aromas by Miles. Thanks for joining me on this slow dance around the fragrance world today. Today we have another great Magnificent 7 for you. It's the magic of Mancera. It's a house that you really don't want to miss. And I'm leaning a little bit on the summer fragrance side with this Magnificent 7 because I'm thinking maybe some of you folks are trying to get out of this crazy cold that's going on out there. I'm south of the border and it's cold as shit here, so I can imagine what it's like up north. All you have to do is give me a hand and help me out and like and subscribe. It all goes to a great cause and it's free, so it's not going to hurt you too much. And it's kind of a double whammy, right? You're going to help people, you're going to help the channel, and I think it's a win. Okay, it's Mancera. Vámonos. Let's go. All right. What if I told you that you could get some of the boldest niche fragrances today that combine coffee, a little bit of citrus, and some crazy ass powerhouse performance? Today we're going to rank and review Mancera's most talked about fragrances by, smell, a little bit about performance, popularity, not so much about market share and all that this time. So I think it's going to be interesting. So let's dive in. I keep holding this up because I don't know why, but the first one I've got is Oud Cafe. And Oud Cafe is coffee, cream, a little bit of vanilla. It's got some rose, cedar, and white musk in the dry down. It's a great fragrance. It's longevity, like just about all the Mancera fragrances are first rate, top tier. I mean, the coffee and the vanilla come out to me really quickly in the opening. It's kind of a bold, gourmand coffee kind of fragrance with a little bit of sweetness and that, massive presence. Again, that vanilla adds the sweetness, and then it's just a Mancera fragrance, so it's going to kick way out there on longevity and projection, so you have to be careful on the sprays. It's one of Mancera's best sellers. It's sweeter than the Cedar Blasé, and I think it's a little bit louder than the the Instant Crush that we have here. We've got 7 fragrances for you to try. I think you should take a look at it, but I wouldn't blind buy it if I were you. The thing about Mancera fragrances is that they are strong and dense. You get a beautiful, these are 125s, I think. Aren't these 125s? Yeah, these are 125 or 120 ml bottles, so you get a little more fragrance. They're blended well, they've got good ingredients, and they last all day. You're going to die before this one goes away. So they're reasonably priced. So these are between, depending on where you shop on the discounters, you're going to find them between the high 90s to the 130s, maybe right in there. Very, very rarely will you ever find one more than that. So that's Oud Cafe from Mancera. Try it first, but I think you're going to like it. All right, the next one I want to introduce you to, if you haven't seen it before, and most of you probably have, is Cedar Blasé. And Cedar Blasé, there's an intense version of it, but honestly, I like the original a little bit better. It's not quite, it's a little bit smoother around the edges. Cedarwood, amber spices, it's got some citrus, and then it dries down with a little bit of musk. And I honestly think the original is a little bit more rounded, a little bit more just less sharp than the Intense. The Intense is a good fragrance all the way, but if you like woody fragrances that are balanced with a little bit of dryness and it's got a little bit of warmth in the woods as well, then this is one you ought to take a look at. It's kind of a staple for you woody fragrance lovers out there. It's something you really ought to have in your wardrobe, and it's, again, not super pricey. I think I paid a little bit over 100 or maybe 104 for this one. It's drier than the red tobacco, and it's less sweet than the Oud Cafe. I think that again, any woody fragrance lover is really going to like this. Longevity is pretty good. I mean, all Mancera fragrances are pretty good. This is a warm weather scent, and we're kind of moving into that warm weather part of the list. We've got red tobacco coming up, which obviously isn't warm weather, but we're moving into that. This is a summer day, summer evening. You could wear it probably early fall, late spring, that sort of thing. But I find, I really like this one in the evenings and in the summer when it's a little bit warmer. I think it's the smoothness of it is something that, especially with the citruses up top, that doesn't get in the way of people. You can wear it in a room full of people. I don't think you'd be disappointed with it. So, Mancera's Cedro Base. Just check it out. All right, you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to be on the list. This is Mancera's Red Tobacco, and this is the beast of all beasts when it comes to longevity and projection. I think anybody who's been out in the fragrance community very long will have heard about this monster. And there are not many 12-hour fragrances out there, really, because we do the Daily Dab, or I do the Daily Dab here on Aromas by Miles, and we prove that most of the fragrances that say they get 8 to 10 hours or 10 to 12 hours, they disappear much earlier than that in the real world. So watch for those Daily Dabs. There's a lot of them on the channel, and we keep doing them. But there's tobacco, spices, vanilla, amber, and there's some woods in this. But the tobacco is the one that really kicks out. It's that dark, spicy tobacco. It's kind of a powerhouse with that huge longevity that if you've been following fragrances online or anywhere else, you know that this is kind of the benchmark for crazy longevity and that sort of thing. Everybody compares it to, every other tobacco fragrance gets compared to this. I mean, they compare it to tobacco vanille. I don't think there's, other than the tobacco piece of it, I don't think there's a lot of similarities there. The edges on red tobacco are sharp and kind of gouge you in the eye. And tobacco vanille is a little bit smoother, although it does have some edges too. But it's this fragrance is richer, it's darker than Cedro Base. Obviously, they're hard to compare because red tobacco is definitely going to be a winter scent, a colder weather scent. And you have to watch your sprays. 1 or 2 sprays usually is enough to last you 6 hours or so. And again, you've heard me talk about this before. I don't think any fragrance you should care whether it lasts longer than 6 hours. You really should reapply it, or it's rare that you're in a situation where you need heavy fragrance for 6 hours, but you never know. So anyway, that's the beast of all beasts, red tobacco. It's going to be a winter scent for sure. Again, watch your sprays. It's something that you definitely need to try and kind of work your way into. But if you love tobacco scents, you have to have this in your collection. There's just no question that your collection would be lacking if this thing wasn't in there. So red tobacco, give it a shot. All right, we're going to switch gears now from the winter beast back to that kind of, for me, this is kind of a summer scent. Some people say it's a holiday scent, but it's Mancera's Holiday. Does it remind me of holidays? Me, not so much, but it's a good solid offering. And with the citrus and the vanilla and some of the ambers and the spices in it, I wear this during the summer and the warmer weather. Never had any issues with it at all. And I don't know. I don't know what your holidays are like, but I don't get too much of a holiday vibe from it. But it's a solid opening. It's uplifting and fresh, warm, kind of festive, kind of, I guess you'd call it vacation inspired would be a way to do it. Mancera says it's a seasonal favorite. Again, I don't understand that, but that's again coming from Mancera. It's warmer than French Riviera, which is coming up, but it's not quite as soft as French Riviera to me on my skin. I've worn this all over the place, and even in the colder weather, and I think colder and warmer weather. And I think it's a versatile scent. I think you should take a look at it. And if you're into that holiday thing and you can figure out how that connection works, then give it a try. I think this is a safer blind buy than some of the others on this list. So tell me what you think. If you've tried it, put your thoughts down in the comment and let me know if you think it's a festive holiday scent or if it's just a good warm weather scent. Let me know. All right, we're going to keep following up on that summer theme, and this is a really good one. This is one that I found, I don't know, but maybe about a year ago. It's been out for a little while, but I kind of got shied away from it because of the blue coloring on the bottle. Can you take a look at that? This is Mancera's French Riviera. And I know I have a few scents here, a few summer scents here in the dead of winter, but just remember I'm more of a cold weather animal, and I wanted to feature a few unique summer scents. Excuse me, but this one's citrus, marine notes, woods. It's got a little bit of musk in the dry down, some woods in the mids. The thing that scared me off a little bit was the marine notes, but I don't get a lot of marine from this, and marine notes and accords are not normally my favorite, but I don't get a lot from this. I get more of a bright citrus with a little bit of a subtle wood kind of a mid, and then that musky dry down, which I think it's a great fragrance. I usually take this one with me when I'm heading on anywhere where it's really warm. It's kind of a fresh Mediterranean summer fragrance. It's a lot like some of the Acqua di Parma fragrances, some of the Mediterranean line in that house. I think I can see it if you're by a pool or maybe on the beach with loose linen shirt and your honey's got one of those thin flowing kind of dresses on, and I can see it having cocktails by the pool or watching the sunset, that sort of thing. It's that kind of fragrance for me. And if you like those sorts of fragrances that aren't too heavily marine, that are still bright and fresh, then I think you should try this fragrance here. It's a strong warm weather scent out there in the market. Certainly in Mancera's repertoire, it's one of the better selling summer scents, the fresh summer scents. It's fresher than Cedar Boisé, so it kind of fills that niche. Longevity, again, is honestly, it's moderate, at least on my skin. You have to reapply it after 4 or 5 hours, but I think that's reasonable, and I think you're gonna like it, so give it a try. Okay, we've got now one of my favorite summer fragrances from the house. I think it's one of the best, the most well-made fragrances, the most well-blended fragrances. It's a light, airy, fresh fragrance, and that's Instant Crush. And it's a warm weather, I'd call it a warm weather beast. It's got vanilla, berries, it's got a little bit of floral in the mid, some jasmine, and then it finishes up with some cedar and some musk. And I like it because it finishes with that cedar and musk, so doesn't make it too floral and too feminine. It's one of the best summer scents I think out there. Again, it's not terribly expensive. It's under I think I paid $110 for this one. It's a popular scent. It gets a lot of hype on the internet. But yeah, that citrus and jasmine come out, and then it's going to dry down. I've worn this quite a bit. There's not a whole lot left in the bottle. But it's an absolute beautiful scent. Creamy, sweet, and yeah, it's a crowd pleaser. You're not inventing anything terribly new with it, but it's a viral success out there, and it's talked about all the time when you're listening to people discussing fresh scents. It's sweeter than the French Riviera, which I also like, and maybe that's why I like it. It gives it a big burst of sweetness, and it's a little bit more energetic and a little bit more moving and modern, I think, than maybe the French Riviera. So take a look at Instant Crush. This could be a blind buy too, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed with what you get. Warm weather all the way, by the pool, the beach, linen clothes, wrapped up with your honey in a hammock, something like that. Give this one a try. Instant Crush, believe me, it's an instant crush. Okay, the last one I've got for you, we're in the list, is another Southern Italian beauty, Sol d'Italia, again by Mancera. It's if Southern Italy is your bag, then you got to put this one in your bag. It's bright citrus, bergamot, neroli, a little bit of amber in the dry down. It's a beautiful scent. It's not unlike a lot of the scents from Acqua di Parma, but I feel like this one, you get a little more juice, and it's not terribly expensive. It's a nice addition to any collection that is going to focus on these, what I'd call the Southern Italian fragrances, because again, Acqua di Parma has a bunch. And this is a beautiful scent. I wear this one fairly often. It's got more of more refined, I think, tropical kind of feel to it. I mean, some of the others like Instant Crush is a beach banger that pops out. Yeah, it's just a great scent. It's kind of that bright Italian citrus, again with that smooth amber in the dry down. I don't think you're going to be disappointed in this one. I've worn this one a lot last summer when it was quite a bit hotter, and it seems to hang close to your skin after about 3 or 4 hours, and it'll go down about 5 or 6. You're not going to be able to smell it anymore, at least on my skin. So just reapply. I mean, at the price point that this Mancera is, you can reapply often, and I think you're not going to be disappointed. It's if you like summer citrus, this is one of them that should be in your wardrobe. It's definitely more citrus forward than French Riviera. French Riviera is a little more refined, still fresh, but it's not quite as sharp as say Instant Crush. And this one's not as sharp as Instant Crush either. This is a little more refined. It's again that southern Italian village where you're sitting out having a little sangria and or a little Chianti and just chilling out, watching the boats come in and that sort of thing. Soleil d'Italia, it's one that you should really take a look at. I think you're going to be really happy with it. Okay, that's my Magnificent 7, and I know you've been waiting for it, so you ready? Here we go. Bum 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 bum. Okay, maybe you weren't waiting for it, but you got it anyway. So I hope you enjoyed what we did today. If you don't know this house, then maybe you've learned something about some of the warm weather bangers anyway. And if you're a frag hound and you don't know about this, then maybe you should check your pulse. You don't know about the House of Mancera, maybe you should check your pulse and make sure you're not dead, because it's a popular house, and if you're into the fragrance world, then you're definitely going to be adding some of these to your collection. It's a mid-range house. It's got great ingredients, great blending for a moderate price. It's got some unique fragrances that aren't going to break the bank. So next time I think I'm going to do a Mancera with some of the darker fragrances, because they've got some really, really nice vanillas and some really heavier, muskier, let me do that again, muskier, dark scents for the cooler weather. So I'll give that a try. And that's Mancera. Thanks for tuning in. I know your time is important, and it's important to me. I know we've all got so little time these days, so I appreciate you tuning in to me. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Please like and subscribe. That'll help me get more of these unique fragrance videos out there. It also helps the Medicalis Post nonprofit, which helps a lot of people around the world. 100% of anything that comes from this channel goes to there. So thanks a lot. Be happy, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.